Good day. So in this lesson, we are going to look at the integration of bx plus c to the power of n. So let's suppose you are given y is equal to bx plus c to the power of n, then the integral of bx plus c to the power of n dx will be equal to what you just do. You just add the 1 to the power, that will be n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, the new power, multiplied by the coefficient of x, b, then plus a constant. And that is the answer. And some may be wondering, where is this b coming from? So this b comes from differentiating this bx plus c. So if you've got your bx plus c, remember the derivative of c is a 0, and the derivative of bx here will just be equal to a b. Then you just take your b, then you multiply with the resulting power, which is n plus 1. And that's how we integrate that. Okay, with that in mind, let's look at some examples. So in this example, we are asked to find the integral of 2 minus 5x to the power 7 dx. So now the integral of 2 minus 5x to the power 7 dx will be equal to, remember, we add the power 1, that will be 2 minus 5x to the power of 8 divided by 8 multiplied by the coefficient of x, that is negative 5. Then plus your c, don't forget your c. And this is equal to negative 1 over 40 multiplied by 2 minus 5x to the power of 8 plus a constant. And that's how we integrate 2 minus 5x to the power 7. Now moving on to the second example. So in this example, we once again asked to integrate 1 divided by 3x plus 5 to the power 5. So what you want to do here before you integrate is to apply the laws of indices such that 3x plus 5 becomes the numerator, and that becomes 3x plus 5 to the power negative 5 dx. Then you can integrate that. That becomes, you add power 1, remember, that would be 3x plus 5, then add power 1, that would be negative 4. Then divide by the new power negative 4 times the coefficient of x, in this case that is 3, plus a constant. And this can be rewritten as 1 or negative 1 on top divided by 12, then in a bracket 3x plus 5 to the power of 4 plus a constant c. And that is how you integrate 1 over 3x plus 5 to the power 5. Now moving on to the third example. Once again, we are asked to integrate the square root of 2 plus 5x to the power 3 dx. So what you want to do before you actually integrate is also to apply the laws of indices so that you remove that square root. And that becomes 2 plus 5x in a bracket raised to the power 3 over 2 dx. Now after you've done this, now you can integrate, and that becomes 2 plus 5x, and remember, we add 1 to the power, that becomes 5 over 2 divided by 5 over 2 multiplied by the coefficient of x, remember inside, that will be a 5 plus a constant c. And this can be rewritten as 2 divided by 25, then in a bracket 2 plus 5x to the power of 5 over 2 plus a constant c. And that is how you integrate the square root of 2 plus 5x to the power 3. Now moving on to the last example. So in this example, we are told that the first derivative of a function is equal to 1 over 5x minus 3 to the power 3. And the function passes through point 120. That's what it means. Function of 1 is equal to 20. It just means that the original function, this function that is not derivative, it's not the function that is not derived yet, passes through the point 1 and 20. And then we are asked to find that original function. Remember, what we have here is the first derivative. And remember, to get the function of x, you need to integrate the first derivative. So that will be the integral of 1 over 5x minus 3 to the power of 3 dx. And remember, before you integrate, what you want to do is also to apply the laws of indices so that 5x minus 3 becomes the numerator, and that becomes 5x minus 3 to the power of negative 3 dx. And then to integrate that, that will be 5x minus 3 to the power of negative 2. Negative 3 plus 1, negative 2, divided by negative 2 times a 5. Then plus your constant c. And this can be further simplified to be 5. Actually, you can write it as a positive index. And that would be negative 1 divided by 10 in a bracket 5x minus 3 to the power 2 plus a constant c. Now remember, we are given the point 120. So we can calculate actually the value of c. So then we can say here, so this is actually f of x and f of x. So then we can say the f of x is 20. So 20 is equal to negative 1 divided by 10 bracket. That becomes 5x minus 3. So that will be 5 times 1 minus 3 bracket squared plus a constant. So the value of c in this case will be c is equal to 801 over 40. Yeah, it's actually a very weird number, but it doesn't matter. Then you can now rewrite your f of x. So f of x is equal to, that's whole thing, negative 1 over 10 bracket 5x minus 3 bracket squared plus 801, then 801, then divided by 40. And that will be the function of x. Yeah, and this marks the end of our lesson. And I hope you get it right and hope to see you in the next lesson.